Waking Up Singapore.
Gotta get up.
The Big Show on Kiss 92.
Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore. Welcome to Happy at Work Thursday. Our guest for this morning and every Thursday morning is from Korea Agility International, Mr. Adrian Choo. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, Glenn, and good morning to all our Kiss 92 listeners out there.
Okay, so today we're talking about choosing a career for your kids. This is very interesting.
Yeah, and this was an interesting topic because last week we were talking about a talk I was giving at SAJC with over 500 parents, and the response was quite good. And a lot of people were saying that, hey, Adrian, do you have any career advice? You've always been giving career advice to us. How do we give career advice to our kids?
But this sounds wrong. It's like choosing a career for your kids.
But so
Parents
many
don't choose careers for their kids.
So many parents do.
But kids should choose their own careers for themselves, right? But I mean, moving away from that, how old should parents start thinking about their kids' careers? I mean, because all parents are going to do it anyway, right?
I know a grandparent who, when the kid was about 1 year old for his birthday, the grandparent bought a doctor set for the kid.
Oh, but that's okay. I think as a 1 year old plaything, that's
It's
all
okay,
right.
yeah.
It was a hint to the parents.
Yeah.
But don't we have
so
like
funny.
Asian traditions like the Koreans, I think, where when a baby is born, I think their 1 month celebration or something, they put out a whole row of paraphernalia like stethoscope, I don't know, other things, and then wherever the baby crawls to is what the baby is going to be.
Am I the only one who's never heard of
I've
it?
heard
yes,
of this.
yes, they do that.
In Korea.
I think it's Korean or it's some sort of Asian tradition. That Shalini is nodding her head. She's like, yes.
Must be Korean then.
It's Korean.
Yeah, they and then they see where the baby gravitates to, and that's what the baby's going to
So
be.
the baby crawls to the microphone, then it's a K-pop artist.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
There you go.
I mean,
No idea.
It's a fun thing to do, I guess.
It is, and it's a tradition. So how old do you think parents should start thinking or discussing this at least with their kids?
Yeah, I think there are different theories about it. There are different stages, and one of the earlier stages is for the kid. This is their imaginary stage when they say, "I want to be a fireman. I want to be a policeman," right? And I think that's a very nice age to start talking to kids about their careers. So today, this is a very heavy topic, like what Glenn said last week. We're going to spread it over 2 episodes, this week and next week. So today we're going to talk about the background about it. What should we be doing it? Next week we're going to talk about the how.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
okay,
Good. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Adrian on the Big Show TV. Here's Sabrina Carpenter with Feather on Kiss 92.
So today is the theory, and next week is the practical.
Practical. And after that will be a test.
So the ethical side of it, should parents actually be talking to their kids about careers?
I think they should be talking. The problem lies, from what I see very often, is when parents think they know better. And they tell your kids, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. But, do parents know better? I don't know.
I don't want you to look at me and answer.
I think parents do know.
Better?
I think parents don't know. Because parents base everything on only what they know, and children today are so different from when we were kids, which is why when my children were choosing their careers, I let them go because I couldn't comprehend a child who wanted to become a baker. I couldn't comprehend a child who wanted to do makeup. To me, these were minor little things. I wanted doctors, lawyers, engineers, like every parent.
Yeah.
But there was no focus there. There was no passion. There was no love. And I just had to stand back and say, okay, I'm going to let you go. I hope everything works.
Yeah, of course, which is what a lot of parents have to do.
Yeah.
Thank
Let
God
their
I'm not
kids
a
go.
parent, no.
Yeah.
Because I will not let my kid be a baker. I would not let my kid be a makeup artist. There is no way.
Then you would probably have a very unhappy kid.
I will
Yeah.
disown them.
No, oh, wow, okay.
I think you say that, but
Yeah.
I think when you have a relationship with someone that you love, that is literally looking to you for life, for everything, when everything falls apart, you're their person. I think you would want to find out what they like, what they love. And then when that presents itself as something that in this day and age, really anything can make money, right?
Yeah,
So I
for
think it's
sure.
a conversation more than anything else.
Because when you see the person you love doing what they love, it'll make you happy.
But they think. I'll go like, yeah,
No,
you think you want to be a baker. But one day you'll think back and go like, yeah, maybe I should have been a a
lawyer
doctor
or a
something.
doctor.
Yeah.
Was
You know,
your-
things like that.
Do your parents ever disapprove of your career?
My mom wanted me to be a priest, so this is damn good already, actually.
but that's interesting, no, Glenn. I remember you said that your mom was quite against you going into business.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
because of your dad, right? And everything.
Yeah.
So sometimes the role of the parent, besides saying you should do this, maybe sometimes the parents say you should not be doing that. But once again, do they know any better? Because I can tell you that a lot of times, especially in today's day and age, I think the kids know a bit more than we do.
Yeah.
So a couple of years back, my son was telling me, hey, Dad, you should invest in this silly whatever nonsense it was. And I was saying, rubbish lah, well, invest is $1,000 a piece, Bitcoin. Anyway, kids know better. Sometimes the kids do know better.
Yeah.
And then the kids
Right.
say, I want to be an influencer. And what the heck is that? Don't be silly. And then this 8-year-old kid with a...
With the unboxing and all that, yeah.
it's making $25 million.
I think it boils down to the access of information that kids have now that the parents may not necessarily access as well. I mean, the parents
Sure.
have access, but they don't access that particular information. So when you say things like unboxing, YouTube influencer, maybe a performer on YouTube, or even someone who eats for a living on YouTube, all
Yes,
this
yes, I've seen
mukbang
those.
videos and
Yeah,
all
I've
that,
seen those.
people make a lot of money with that, but parents just can't fathom.
No, because they look at it as short term, you see.
Well, yeah,
You know what
it's
I mean?
not sustainable.
Exactly, exactly. So for example, I mean, what we've been doing here, I mean, I've been doing this for close to 30 years now, right? And, a lot of what I'm doing today was not my choice. It was my mom and it was my uncle, who said, hey, maybe this radio thing would be good for you. And I'm like, what? I mean, I used to listen to the radio, but I never thought I would be a presenter. But my uncle saw potential, and my mom supported me in that sense. And after that, she loved it, right? When I actually did go on the radio, she was very, very supportive. So I owe everything to my mom and this uncle of mine who sent my cassette tape to the then head of radio in Singapore.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know what I
nice.
mean?
Yeah.
So I never. This
Planned
was
for
not something
this.
I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But once I got into it, I was like, okay, I think I'm okay at this.
Your mom did you a huge favor. I
Yeah.
think.
If that's the case, then, and we know this is true in Singapore, should parents start getting involved in what their children study? Because parents are deciding what you do in university.
A lot of times it is true, it is true. And sometimes the parents are a great source of information, to be fair. Right, they've worked, they've read more, they're more exposed. So I think it's good that parents get involved rather than parents be totally hands off in one form or other. But the challenge once again is that the parents who are coming in, they are using very old
Mindsets,
assumptions,
yeah.
old mindsets as well. Things like get a stable job, work for the government, one job, don't resign, retire, get your gold watch. We all know that that's all outmoded already, right?
Yeah.
So I think parents also have to approach a modern way of career management to understand, and how do we apply this to our kids? And like what you're saying, FT, if it's what sort of courses do you want to recommend your kids to study? So once again, it's about knowing the kid, knowing your child, whether or not he's inclined towards the humanities or the science. And sometimes people just they flip over. I'm very science, but as I grow older, I get more interested in humanity. So it's a very dynamic situation.
I think there are two types of parents. One type of parents that wants their children to follow in their footsteps, so they come from a string of lawyers or doctors and all that, and their kids have to do that as well. And the other set of parents that say, I always wanted to be a lawyer or a doctor. You need to do that, because they want to live through their children and achieve what they could never achieve, So they make sure that they go to university and stuff like that. But it may not be what the child wants.
Your dad's a lawyer.
My dad's a lawyer.
Did you feel any pressure to be a...
I didn't feel any pressure to become a lawyer, but I always wanted to be a lawyer, but I couldn't because of my second language. And my parents couldn't afford to send me overseas. So because I couldn't get into NUS because I didn't have a second
Same
language
here.
back then.
Same here. My second language was just shit.
It was crap. Yeah, and I couldn't advance. But if I were born in this day and age, then I probably would be a lawyer.
Yeah. And that was the
Duolingo.
system. That was our education system, which okay.
Yeah.
Kiss Kiss 92 traffic.
Usual delays across the expressways. The areas to look out for: the BKE towards the PIE, a vehicle broken down before Woodlands Avenue 3 entrance. Also on the BKE towards the PIE, a vehicle broken down after Dairy Farm Road entrance. Look out for that as well. And the PIE towards Changi, a vehicle broken down after Kallang Way. Avoid lane 5. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. So, which actor or actress does it seem everybody likes but drives you nuts? That's what we're asking you to send us voice notes for. Okay, 88550920. But right now, we're back with Adrian Choo from Career Agility International, and we're talking about choosing a career for your kids.
Wait, I'm curious. Is there an actor or actress you like, you don't like, that you think everyone else likes?
Well, I think Adam Sandler is one of those.
Everyone says Adam Sandler.
His name keeps popping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and
It's
Will Ferrell.
It's all
Oh, Will Ferrell as well. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. No women yet. I like that. I mean,
Yeah.
no women's names have come up yet.
Yeah.
No women's names. Anyway, so we were talking about children's careers and choosing a career for your kids. This is just part one. And maybe we could ask the question, who knows better, our children or us?
Yeah. Maybe that's something our listeners can on Facebook. They can just vote.
You should
or
come in
just
and
come
let us know.
Oh, we do have one. We have a few messages. They're
Oh,
all talking to
nice.
each other. It's kind of cute. But someone, Faizola says, in some cases, the parents do not want their kids to do the same work as their parents, which is the
That's
opposite
true.
of
That's
what we
true.
were saying on the
Yeah.
Big Show TV,
Yeah.
where a lot of kids feel the pressure or feel inclined to do exactly what your parents do because you see them, especially if you look up to your parent, you love your parent. You're like, if I want the same lifestyle, I should do the same thing, instead of looking inward. But I feel like there's so many factors to deciding what it is. And then when you come into the world as a kid, so many options around you. It's hard to think about what do I love, what do I think about on a very singular level because you're constantly being bombarded with what everyone else likes.
Yeah.
Whereas I had no friends growing up, so my mom knew it was music. It was just
Yeah.
music and me the whole time.
But it's a no-brainer for you because you're so talented, right? I mean, I couldn't sing like you. None of us
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
sing like you.
That's-
But I didn't start out that way.
No, but there's a difference between wanting to
Yes.
become a singer and being good at it.
Exactly.
Very big
Exactly.
difference.
I
So-
mean, I'm a vocal coach as well. You don't need, talent will never outdo hard work. You could be the worst singer in the world, but
Really?
you want it.
Really?
I
So there's hope
promise
for
you.
me yet, so
Okay,
Me
nice.
too.
Age is also.
But she
affected.
doesn't just teach anyone, you see. That's the problem. If
Yeah.
not, I'd sign up with Canary.
but the way I see it is talent plays a big part as well. And if you do identify talent, a particular talent in your kid, I think that's a good breadcrumb that you can pick up on. That this is, he's got a great talent for talking, for public speaking, perhaps. But it doesn't mean that he's going to be a lawyer or a teacher. It just could be a skill which he picks up and you groom and.
But that depends what kind of parent you are as well. A lot of parents will see that talent of singing or talking and all that. They'll be like, "Oh, keep quiet and you need to do
Shut up,
this."
man.
You know?
Yeah.
But Adrian, don't parents have to be evolving parents like a child evolves? Because, like with me, Chloe wanted to do marine biology for the longest time. And then suddenly,
Chloe is
my daughter, right? She
I
wanted
get
to
it.
do marine biology for the longest time and scared the hell out of me. She wanted to go diving with sharks. But, then at a point, she was like 14 and she went, no, no. I've changed. I want to follow something more creative.
Makeup.
Yeah.
And the parents have got to, you got to go with that.
We need to recognize that in a theory of career development, careers and careers thinking, there's a certain age for, it's called a fantasy stage, where they want to explore different things. I have a friend, his son wanted to be a garbage truck, the guy that hangs behind the garbage
Yes,
truck. Right.
yeah.
I said, that's so fun, hang up from back of a
Yeah.
moving vehicle every day. And he said, okay. So it's a fantasy stage. We all wanted to be a doctor, lawyer, policeman, everything, right? So,
I'm still there.
so that, you're living the dream. That's why.
I know. I love it. I feel very blessed.
But it's
to do it.
fantasy for some, and it's
Reality for others.
you see.
Yeah, correct.
So, for example, like FD, if let's say Chloe said she wanted to be, behind a rubbish truck or whatever, would you have said yes?
To be honest, no.
Exactly.
No, I would have fought
This
it.
is what I mean, you see.
I would have
Yeah.
fought it.
You would have just disowned her.
But
I
you're-
wouldn't have disowned her, but I would have
But
fought
Glenn,
it.
you're absolutely right about the reality and the fantasy bit, because for the person that's dreaming, that's reality for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And for everyone else who's looking, oh, you're just this is not going to happen. You know, it's
Yeah.
you're just being a dreamer.
Yeah.
Which is kind of bad to shoot people's dreams down as well, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, we're speaking to Adrian Choo from Korea Agility International. We'll continue to talk to Adrian on the Big Show TV. It's 8:13.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by.
So let me put a hypothetical situation just for the fun of it. What if your child wants to do something, but you know he or she has got no talent for it? Okay, and like for instance, I want to sing or I want to dance, but you look at it and say, no, you got like 3 left feet. It's like kind of thing. And sometimes parents want to be supportive because they want to be the good parent, right? And that's why whenever we see those America Got Talent or those type of movies, those type of shows, right? Someone comes on stage, sings horribly, and gets bussed up by Simon. But these people, don't they know they are horrible, bad singers? It's because their parents and people around them are trying to be nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're tone deaf
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
And they're
then-
not
then-
telling them the truth.
Yeah, so sometimes that's why there's a certain balance as a parent as well to, I hate to say it, but to strike some reality into it. But then again, what do you know? So it's a huge.
To be very
Bundle
fair
of-
on that note, as someone who has been on reality shows, a lot of these people, from what I've noticed, whether it's like in Singapore, and I also auditioned for The Voice in the US, a lot of these people are isolated. Like they come from either one single parent families that are working, are isolated, they don't have any friends, and so the reality is no one's told them. And
Really? Zero?
But I'm sure they.
I mean, there must be
perform-
someone who's heard them.
No, but I feel like if I was very close to you and we had no holds back, like I can tell you difficult things, sure, no problem. But maybe they don't have anyone
closeness.
that's intimately close to them to tell them and be honest with them. They need to go on national television for everyone. And then some of them obviously are making a mockery of themselves. You know,
Yeah.
they do it
like
on
the
purpose.
William Hung type.
Just
to
They
get
make
that
more
15
money.
seconds
They
of
make more money
fame,
on that,
yeah.
I mean, I'm still questioning whether William Hung went on as a joke. I feel like he really went on.
Really, when he tried it.
Yeah, he really
Okay,
was doing
okay.
his best,
Oh, okay.
and then got famous, infamous, I guess. But yeah, I feel like while addressing, how you can help your kids, what about the kids that don't have like
People
parents
to
that they're
address it.
close to, or they're from
Yeah, that's tough.
single parent families? What do they do?
And it's tough, and I think that's why teachers as well should play a part. And one thing nice is that the education system now, especially in junior college and in secondary school, even my daughter's secondary school, they are organizing attachments and internships. I think FD's company is one listed as one of the
Yeah.
participants,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a great way to A, for the companies to spot talent, and but B, for the individuals, like the children, the students, to get some work experience and to see whether they like the business or not.
And to be able to put their fingers in different pots and see and have a feel around before actually going out to the real world.
Yeah. How long has your company been doing it?
10, 12 years
Oh, that's
now.
a cool. That's a cool
time,
thing.
long
Do
time.
you get any like potential students that you've spotted?
I'll
that
give
might-
you. I'll give you a story of one. Interned with us, joined us, worked with us for 6 years.
Wow.
Now works for a multinational events company.
Oh, nice. Okay. And joined you at what age at internship?
Right out of diploma.
Okay, so that's okay.
18 or 19.
So yeah.
That's amazing.
There are some stories out there that are really good. There are some stories out there that are really good.
So I think that's why it's good for the teachers at school. So it's a whole ecosystem. It takes a village, right? I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It takes
for
a
sure.
village.
Love that.
What if like say a kid wants to become a singer or a dancer and they totally suck at it? You know, they're really, really bad at it. Would it be good to encourage them to maybe do something in a peripheral zone of that same industry? You know, like become a producer for music, so you're still surrounded by that, or become not a choreographer, but maybe a director or something.
I think it's finding the level of passion, because if the passion level is like 30% or whatever, you bring them to one class, they don't do well, they'll give up. You know what I mean? But if you go for a class and they're willing to do the work, they're willing, because you could be really bad at something. I've seen tone deaf people become singers.
Oh wow, it's
Yeah.
possible.
Oh,
But
totally.
how?
Wow.
Through training.
They literally practice every single day. Like I watch some of my students go from really like from 0 to 1 is the hardest. There's the hardest path to cross.
Okay.
But once you pass that one and you're like, I can see myself improve, the possibilities are endless. But it takes time and it takes passion. You can't. It's going to be really tough.
And
Come
it takes
lah,
a lot.
Haneri, take me in.
Takes a lot of hard work, right?
And then we do a duet.
we do the first class first.
Then we'll have a number one song in Singapore.
Okay, international. Let's go. Let's go big.
Yeah, why Singapore? Don't leave it as that.
Yeah. I
So-
think that's.
So, career curious, career indecisive, or career ignorant?
Yeah. So sometimes you're wondering, why hasn't my kid thought of a career? What do you want to be? I don't know, anything.
Yeah,
Is it normal?
it is.
Must be from a rich family.
Not necessarily.
I think it is normal because of what Daphne said just now. There is just so much out there.
Yeah.
I'm going anything because I don't know. I don't know what I love. There's so much that I like. I don't know what I love.
The traditional lawyer, doctors, engineers, and all that is no longer.
I think they're not.
They
much
are no
anymore.
longer
No,
the.
okay. And it's interesting because I still remember when my daughter was very young. There was a career day event, and she came back home. She was saying that, Dad, I'm quite stressed out because I have no idea what I want to be when I grow up. And I said, don't worry, I coach 40-year-olds with the same problem. They don't know. So it's I mean,
Come to the right place.
as adults, sometimes we don't even know what we want to do or want to be. So let alone kids. So sometimes if you want to have the expectation on them, you have to figure out what you want to be. It might be a bit premature in a way. So I think they have to develop on their own time. But one thing that I always say is that let the kids know what you're doing. And if you can share your profession with them, or when you have family friends over, just having them talk about their careers, let them understand what those people do.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is it good for a parent to tell a child what they don't want them to get involved in?
Gangs, drugs.
No, for example, my girls, right? My girls. And I've often wondered whether it was a regret. I always told them, don't get involved in radio.
Of course. Very bad. That's so bad. They could be so talented.
Yeah.
You see, this is
As-
the thing.
as
Because,
radio
you're
presenters.
saying it's bad what he said.
Yeah.
Right. I thought you
because
said that's so
as
bad.
she
the
grew up
career.
and now where she is now,
Yeah.
Chloe's sense of humor
Would have
be
been
a
great.
gem
Yeah,
on
exactly.
radio.
So why did you say that then?
Because at the point I said that, I found that the majority of women on radio didn't get the respect they deserved.
Like,
There were a couple that did, but that was it. The rest didn't get the respect. You know, the men got the respect, the women didn't. And I didn't want that for my children. But can we do that?
Once again, the opinion might be biased,
Yeah.
right? But could be true. I know a lot of mechanical engineers out there with who tell their kids don't do mechanical engineering. It's a boring job. But and yet I know some mechanical engineers who tell their kids do it. No, it's exciting. So,
Yeah.
so I think it's very situational. But you can offer a perspective to the kid. And to
This
the
is
child.
what happens.
Yeah.
This is.
Yeah.
Are you ready
And
for
then-
this?
Yeah.
and it's in the
Yeah.
blood, no? I mean,
Yeah.
your kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
I think best teacher as well.
Shame. F-
No, don't be
Get
so
her,
mean.
No,
no, get her on
Yeah,
social media.
that's why.
Get her on social media. That's like a thing now. Funny
She has
girls.
a job.
Yeah, she has a job.
I tried.
Kiss 92 traffic.
The CTE tunnel towards the SLE, a vehicle broken down before Ken Hill Circle entrance. Avoid lane 3. SLE towards the BKE, a vehicle broken down before Upper Thompson Road. We have the PIE towards Changi, an accident after Toguan Road exit. BKE towards the PIE, a vehicle broken down before Woodlands Avenue 3. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning, because it's Happy at Work Thursday, is Adrian Choo from Career Agility International. And if you want to ask Adrian any question or you need his guidance, you can get in touch with him at info@careeragility.org.
So we're speaking about choosing a career for your kids. This is just part one because there's so much to talk about. You're a career coach. you have children. How did you handle this situation? And I think you're still handling it now
I'm still
because they're
handling it now.
teenagers, right? So how are you handling it?
So for my older boy, he's going to law school next year, and so I've always noticed interesting because he used to be very mathematical when he was young. And I always thought he might pursue a science thing, but I was telling him that you do what you like to do at that age. But towards secondary 2, he shifted towards humanities, and I saw he was really good with languages. He was very good with the logic and everything else. So I was telling him, well, maybe you just want to explore other options. And he was asking me, what's the best humanities type subject to have? And I said, if you really want my opinion is get a law degree, but don't be a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Or just for the training and everything. If you want to be a lawyer after you get a law degree,
Sure.
go, sure. But if you don't want to, then there's so many other things you can do, right?
Yeah.
A degree is just a degree, Then that's where your life begins after the degree. Yeah. So my daughter, she's in Sec 3 now, so she's still figuring her way out. And I said, don't worry, there's no rush.
So what have you seen with
It's so
her?
lucky to have him, huh? as a
Yes,
dad.
exactly. That's why I just wanted to find out because you're dishing out the career advice,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's different when you handle your own family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with your daughter, what is she showing interest in now?
Her skill is actually in EQ. She's very sensitive. She's very good with people.
Social
She's
work.
very polite. So I was telling maybe some social work could be one, HR could be another. I said, but it's okay. Once again, find an area you're interested in. Okay, you get your degree. Your career starts after your degree.
Yeah.
So short of going into medicine, where your degree is your career most of the time. Your life starts after you've graduated, and there'll be 2 or 3 other shifts and turns, twists before you end up where your center is. So there's no rush to decide what you want to be, and I think that's okay.
And like we've spoken throughout, like every week we talk about, there will always maybe even be shifts mid-career for them when they get to like their 30s, 40-year-old, right?
Actually, that's my career has shifted many times. Even though, I mean, when my mind was set at 3 years old, I'm going to be a singer. I
wow.
was making mixtapes of my own music from like 5 to 15. I was sending them out to probably no one. I don't know. I was just getting
Santa.
I was using Yellow Pages to look for labels and sending them
Wow.
out. And I was recording all my stuff on a tape, like learning how to play guitar and stuff. But then that changed as I got older. I went to school. So saying about your daughter being a teenager and saying your career only starts after you graduate, which is true. But that doesn't stop you from trying anything and everything, no matter what age you are, because if your kid is like, oh, I want to be in this environment, then try it out, because you might find that it scares the heck out of you.
But one thing is, very few individuals have that kind of clarity like you.
Yeah.
I loved it. This is my talent. I want to do it. No, I want to be an astronaut and really become an astronaut, kind of thing.
Especially
wanted
starting at 3, though. I mean, 3 is like, and then you're still singing.
And it's
Yeah.
an interesting for you. It's an interesting alignment of talent plus interest plus passion and opportunities.
Well, that came much later. So even though I knew what I wanted to do at 3, I was also scouted to be a Olympic gymnast. So I was training for 9 years to join the Olympics. But I was still singing. I was still doing the stuff that I wanted. But I think also growing up in Australia, it was like very open. My mom was she wasn't working, so we could have talks about whatever it is I wanted, and I had the freedom to go take classes and do this, that, and the other.
Which brings, even as we are moving on to the big show online, which brings an interesting question which we're going to talk about online, is then should our children be exposed to, should they specialize early or should they have a range? Let's talk
Okay.
about-
Okay, that's coming up next on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Pitbull and Nile Rodgers, Freak 54. Freak Out on Kiss 92.
So range versus depth, which is better?
Yeah, and there's this very good book by David Epstein, no relationship to Jeff.
Oh my gosh, thank goodness.
He wrote a very interesting book called Range, okay? And he says that why generalists win in the end. And his argument is this, if you look at the world of sports, you got Tiger Woods. Since he was 3, he was ready with the golf ball. He was a hardcore golfer, I think, from a very young age. When he was a young kid as well, he won a lot of because he was very specialized and everything. But Roger Federer, apparently he didn't touch a tennis racket till he was 16. His mom was a tennis coach.
So he did arrange.
Yeah, but his mom made him do soccer, gymnastics, and everything. And when he finally did pick up the tennis racket at 16, he realized that he had a full muscle control, muscle memory, and everything of every other sports is put into one. That's what made him that great. So he is arguing that. So David Epstein was arguing that the range helps you to decide, helps you to be better, rather than specializing early. So, do we then encourage our kids to specialize just because it's good with science that he need to be a doctor?
Yeah.
Or should we just...
So is it still like a nurture versus nature thing? Some people, you need to be nurtured in order to become that talent. Some people are just natural because they're born with that talent.
Yeah.
Some people are born with that talent, but they're not guided properly.
Yeah, they never use it.
And then you have
yeah.
Roger Federer, who just kind of gets it right somewhere there in the
Sweet
middle.
spot, right?
You know what I mean?
Like he's a born sports person.
Exactly.
Born
Just like
yeah.
you mentioned Tiger Woods, he started playing golf at the age of 3. There are millions of children who have started playing golf at the age of 3.
But go nowhere.
None of them have turned out like Tiger Woods.
Like Lewis Hamilton as well. He was go-karting from
Yep.
a small age, but he was nurtured into that. And then I think his father found that he had a natural
Correct.
talent for it as well.
And the father worked very hard
To get him there.
To get him
Yeah.
the break. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But
He
there's
did.
some parents who perhaps maybe don't put in that
Effort,
work and effort, and so
because they didn't come from money at
Exactly.
all.
Yeah,
They didn't
yeah,
come
that's
from
true.
money at all, but
That's
they
true.
made it happen.
That's true. That's why there's this big argument in Hollywood now about Nepo kids.
What
At least the
kids?
Napo?
kids,
What a
yeah.
Napo kid?
Nepotism.
Nepotism kids. Like,
nepotism
Michael
kids.
Douglas and Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. I mean, a lot
Martin
of the...
Sheen, yeah,
Martin Sheen,
yeah.
right? So a lot of the successful actors, actresses you see today, their parents were already famous, had
Yeah.
their networks. The
Yeah.
same way you see a lot of successful business entrepreneurs today, but their parents are already rich business people with the context. and the-
Because it's easy to do. It's easy to have a startup when you have backing.
Yeah, with
You know
experience and
what I
context
mean?
and everything. So once again, instead of sometimes we want our kids to do something. Sometimes it is if you have the resources, like what you said,
Yeah.
to do it.
But same, not all, because sometimes
all.
it's a curse as well. There's so
Yes.
much pressure if
Yeah.
your dad is a great actor or a great radio DJ.
How do you fit into his?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's tough. So it cuts both ways. So a lot of people are saying that the famous actors on Hollywood, or even the singers and everything, it's a lot of times it's because of their parents' heritage. I mean, if you look back, the huge number of
Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
She comes from a family of Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith.
okay.
Yeah.
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 Gwyneth
Lovely
Paltrow.
parents. Kate Hudson,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow, Jennifer Aniston, so many of them.
Yeah, even Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller,
right?
his dad as
so
well,
it's-
yeah.
He was pedigreed because his father was
A comedian as
Jerry
well,
Stiller,
yeah.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
So I think Ben Stiller is one of the names of people I like, but other people don't like.
I
as
love
well.
Ben Stiller.
He's all right.
I love Ben Stiller.
Yeah,
I'm okay with
Adam
Ben Stiller.
Sandler, no. He's not a fan.
Adam Sandler, no.
He's only James Bond.
Only some James Bonds.
Only some James Bond.
Only some James Bonds. I
Okay,
have
so
to say.
okay, you have something
No, I was
else.
just gonna say, I think it is a very individual thing. Like, there's no hard and fast
Yeah.
rule. There's maybe only guidelines that you can try, but every parent and every child is going to be so different that there's no one way to do it. I guess I feel
That's true, and
Yeah.
it's something I said at the talk itself. I said that one of my favorite authors, his name is Dr. James Dobson, and he said something interesting. He said that the same boiling water that softens the carrot hardens the egg.
Isn't he Mr. Focus on the Family?
Yes,
Dr. James Dobson.
I love his voice. He's such a cool guy. And he says, so it's different. You can coach one child in one way. Your other kid, you coach, and then it goes. So a lot of times, that's why parents as coaches is an important skill to have. Because the fundamentals of coaching is like show, don't tell, ask the questions, probe. And I think when you apply it to parenting, I think it's very, very effective, not just in terms of helping them to choose a career, but making life decisions, just being there, not being too judgmental.
So parents are kind of the career strategists for the children.
Enabling their careers.
So if they go to you and learn how to manage their careers, it could also translate to them being a little bit better at managing their kids'
one
careers
hand,
as well.
On one hand, they would understand the frameworks and everything, but in order to coach, that's another skill set. That's why next week we're going to talk about how do we become parent coaches to our kids, not just in terms of careers, but how do we be
Life
parent
as well.
coaches? Yeah, life coaches.
Life coaches.
I just want to pick up on something that Adrian just said in passing. Don't be too judgmental. Because really you don't know. Ashley has said on our Facebook page, can parents really guide? Because there are so many new jobs and so many new emerging technologies that parents don't know about.
Yeah, but you see,
that the kids know about.
When your mindset is like that, that's when I feel you confuse yourself. As a parent, what you need to know first and foremost is your kids. You know your kids inside out, and
That's
so
true.
you can then guide them. Like Adrian, for example, he can guide his kids. But let's say if some parent decides to send their kids to Adrian, I'm not saying that he won't be able to do a good job,
I
but
wouldn't know what.
but he wouldn't know.
You don't know the children. Yeah.
Exactly. So parents need to know that. But once you start making excuses and thinking about all these things and all that, then you don't get to know your kids the way you need to know them.
No, but that is
Interesting
true.
point.
Yeah, communication and getting to know your kids. A lot of parents these days, it's like, I'm too busy, I
Yeah.
don't have time. But if you really connect with your children and not
Correct.
just about what they want to do, but what they like and what they read, what they're looking at online, get to know their passions, then you get to know what they
the most
want.
the most important thing is you've got to know who
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you're a parent. It's your job to guide your
It
kids
is.
along
It is.
and know your kids.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go on air once again. Almost time to wake up. Green Day right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. It is the 28th of September already. We were just talking about it this morning, right?
Yeah,
Definitely was like,
It's October on
almost
Sunday.
October.
This weekend. This weekend.
Sunday.
Yeah.
There's the big super moon tomorrow night.
There is,
Everyone,
yes.
don't forget. Look up in the sky.
It's Mid-Autumn Festival tomorrow.
Oh.
It's 29th
It
of
is.
September
Yeah.
tomorrow.
It
So
is.
you'll see all the lanterns out
No
and all
wonder
that.
all the mooncakes are going at half price.
There you go. That's about to be
The
over.
moon is going to be very, very bright.
Yeah, super moon
Actually,
tomorrow.
funny enough, I thought mid-autumn was last week. Like
No, it's
No.
29th September.
29th.
29th, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it all half price? I mean, you got me at that one, really?
I was there. I was saying that buy one get one. I think tonight,
Oh.
by today or tomorrow, I think it's going to be really, really high.
I know
Enough
it-
mooncakes. So sweet.
No, I've had like a quarter of a mooncake, but
I've
I'm
had-
going to go Shangri-La. They have vegan mooncakes.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They're very, very, very good and
Yeah.
not rich or heavy. They're very good.
That's what we all think.
No, I promise you.
Just have a
they're
small
very good.
little. This year I haven't had a single mooncake. Not even
A sliver?
a sliver. Not even a
Okay,
sliver.
okay, there's one on the
Nope.
in the pantry if you
Wait,
want.
I have a really funny story about mooncake. So when I was on Idol, there was this Eurasian girl that was very popular, Jessie Theodore. I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
But she was like
Yeah,
the favorite,
sounds
the one
familiar.
to watch. And she had just come to Singapore, right? She'd been here less than a year. And then it was Mooncake Festival. So we all had mooncakes to share. And obviously she didn't know how to eat it, right? She sat there and we were doing an orientation. We look away, we look down. She finished the entire mooncake herself.
Just ate it
and
like
she
that.
was like, wow, this thing is so filling. And all of us, you're not supposed to eat it like that.
You're not though?
I mean,
No, Angel. No.
You can't keep it yourself, no?
You're
no,
supposed
you
to-
can, but she ate it within like 5 minutes. It was gone. She
But
ate
no,
it
okay,
like
what is the proper way to eat
So
a
you cut
mooncake?
it into
Yeah,
quarters,
that I
and then
know.
the quarters you cut it
Into
into
half.
another half or three pieces,
Okay.
and then you just have
share.
You have little slivers with tea and
So
stuff.
she ate it
I
like
always
a
cut it in a
burger.
quarter. She ate it like a burger.
no, she ate it like a cake because it was moon cake. She thought it was a little piece of cake.
But do you cut it to share? Is that what it is?
You can eat it
Yeah, of
yourself.
course.
You can eat it yourself. No, I don't know. I really don't know.
Or
about
once, you step on the weighing scale and it's a little heavy, you know you've eaten too much of the mooncake.
this. Okay, fine. All right, but we're not talking
It's like
about
a
mooncakes.
million calories per mooncake, okay?
Yes, that I know. That I know. We're not talking about mooncakes, but we are talking about breadcrumbs.
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs?
Breadcrumbs. So remember the story about Hansel and Gretel? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they found their way home through the breadcrumbs, right?
Did they? They didn't. They got lost because of the breadcrumbs.
Oh, they got lost.
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, sorry.
okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So they plan to find their way with the breadcrumbs, but the challenge is that, what do we know about our kids in terms of their career? What sort of direction do we lead them in? So my advice is look for the breadcrumbs. If at a very young stage, the child is very interested in a particular space, like for instance, computers. And he likes, hey, this is interesting, beginning coding. Just feed the habit, feed the interest. Just give him, without giving any pressure to do anything, just let him. Because I've known some parents who have done that, but I've known some parents who have gone overboard as well.
Over-encouraged.
Say, go join this competition. And then they get stressed out and then they don't like it anymore. You kill their joy. And so look for breadcrumbs with regards to their kids, what they are interested in. Maybe they're interested in biology. Maybe they love watching Discovery Channel episodes on science, or history. So look out for these breadcrumbs and nurture and give them the opportunities. And if you find that they really like it, maybe perhaps you can partner them or put them in contact with someone who's in that field to learn more about, to talk about. So I had this friend of mine, the child was really, really interested in Grey's Anatomy and those type of shows. So she let the child talk to a doctor friend. And after a while, the child said, that's interesting. So the child is right now in doing pre-medical.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So these are clues, but then it all boils back down again to us as parents, not foisting our opinions on the kids as to what they should do, but giving them options, giving them information.
And opportunity.
Because the truth of it is, we probably don't have that much span of control over what our kids do.
Yeah. I think opportunity is so important.
Yeah. At one time, Channel 8 used to be very, very clever, if they show a series that was about traffic police, let's say, then there would be people signing up to be
Traffic police, right?
If it's a cop show, people would sign up to be cops.
Which is interesting.
Doctor, people would start studying medicine.
In 1985, 86, when Top Gun came out, right?
Yeah.
Everyone signed up to be.
Everyone wanted to be a fighter pilot.
Pilot,
right?
Everyone wanted a bomber jacket.
and Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we talked about choosing a career for your kids, part 1. We'll continue this next week with Adrian Choo right here on Happy at Work Thursday. Any last words before you let you go?
Well, wake up, September's ending. So happy Mooncake Festival. Happy, play the lanterns and everything with your kids and spend time with the kids. Get to know them a bit better. And if you need any advice, just drop me an email, info@careeragility.org.
All right. Thank you very much, Adrian Choo. Up next, Maneskin. This is Begin on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place.